The Catholic Church strongly influences the daily lives of people around the world. Last March, Jorge Mario Bergoglio was elected as the 266th Pope and took on the name of Francis in honor of Saint Francis of Assisi. This beloved saint is best known for living humbly and tending to the poor, and Pope Francis seems to be following in his footsteps. In a short amount of time, his influence has stretched far and wide. UI7's Tori Hughes takes an in-depth look at how much of an impact the Pope is making in the Champaign-Urbana community.
Over the centuries, popes have come and gone, each serving the Catholic faith as they feel God has called them. Each brings something different to the table, some making more of an impact than others. Assistant Chaplain of St. John's Catholic Newman Center at University of Illinois, Father Jim Pankowitz, explains what Pope Francis is striving to bring forth.
I think that his emphasis is certainly focused on the dignity of the human person, and that each individual is in fact made in the image and likeness of God. Each individual is redeemed by our Lord Jesus.
Father Pankowitz says the Pope wants people to be reminded of the greatness in others, which is nothing new in gospel teachings. However, another chaplain at the Newman Center, Father Charles Clammett, explains it in a simpler way.
He's trying to lead with love.
Pope Francis has been the head of the Catholic Church for less than a year, but he is making a global impact with his teachings of love. Throughout recent years, the Catholic Church has been in the middle of debates surrounding contraceptives and gay marriage. Father Clammett explained that the Pope has made headlines by saying those hot-button topics need a time and place. Pope Francis is focusing his attention on what he finds most important: people. St. Francis of Assisi is best known for tending to the poor, and Pope Francis seems to be carrying that along. Father Clammett says the Pope has been described as the Pope of mercy.
I've seen that, just from the way that he expresses a heart for the downtrodden, the poor. He's trying to show us that what defines us is God's love for us, first and foremost.
This love that Pope Francis is sharing is spreading like wildfire around the world and bringing Catholics back to the Church. Father Joseph Santa Bibiana of Holy Cross Catholic Church in Champaign recently traveled to Spain. There, he witnessed Catholics take to heart what Pope Francis is teaching and showing with his actions.
I heard people say, before I didn't go to church, but he's changing my mind and I'm going back to church. I've heard that and I've read of it in other places too.
And this is not just happening outside of the United States. Father David Sadak of Holy Cross says the members of his parish are enthusiastic about what Francis is saying and doing.
People want to know what he is saying in the Catholic world. They hear at Holy Cross Parish. They'll remind me, Father, do you hear what the Pope said this time? I said, no, tell me, so they're like even my informers, my briefers, and so I appreciate that, and so they're keyed in.
Parish member Cindy Howie has also seen and heard the enthusiasm from her fellow church members.
More than anything right now, it's you hear it in conversation, you hear the excitement and the appeal that he's brought out, for the Catholic faith, and I think people are seeing that and starting to embrace their Catholic faith more.
Pope Francis has also started the influence at the Newman Center at U of I. Junior and Catholic convert Amanda Ong says the students on campus are excited for the Pope and his teachings. Ong says the Newman Center overall is definitely being influenced by Pope Francis and helping students help each other.
I think at the Newman Center this year, we've been pushing a lot for simpler sort of evangelization. All it comes down to is the simple one-to-one interactions that students have with each other, and we just need to empower the students to really go out there and minister.
Father Pankowitz says that he believes the actions and teachings of Pope Francis will help young people want to look deeper and want to learn more, especially in the technological world we live in today. The Newman Center is doing well laying out a plan to help students on the university campus. But what is being done to draw those young people into the Catholic churches in Champaign-Urbana? Father Sadak says it isn't through advertising or long discussions.
It's a young person who has a personal relationship with Jesus, befriending someone and saying, hey, I want to share something with you that may help you out.
And for those older members of the Catholic faith who may have fallen to the wayside, Howie has a simple solution to help them come back.
If we know someone who's fallen away from the church, just give them a call and ask them how they're doing, that you're thinking about them. Can you get together? And if you're a committed Catholic person, then your conversation is going to naturally go to God and the faith.
Howie says this action of reaching out is something that seems to come so naturally to Pope Francis. She explains that she believes the Pope is bringing the church back to what it means to love. For Father Santa Bibiana, he believes that with the Pope's teachings, more Catholics will come back little by little to the church, all because of faith.
If the faith is there, it never dies. There's always a smoldering flame there that eventually they will come back to God. And perhaps Francis is doing that with some people, young and older.
Reporting from Champaign, I'm Tori Hughes, UI7 News.